Many of you may already understand the structure. Here's another way you could look at your pricing to make sure that you're pricing your product or services adequately. First, looking at your customer acquisition cost, the cost of getting that business, right? So if you expect for any project that it's going to require 3 to 5 meetings, and each of those are an hour, there's prep time, there's also travel related expenses. Those are all part of your customer acquisition costs. In some cases, you might pay commission to somebody that helped you close that deal. So customer acquisition costs, you should look at of the cost for the project, approximately what percentage is your customer acquisition cost, because these are things that you want to know as you continue to grow your business and get to a repeatable pricing model. Delivery costs. These are the actual time and materials for you to deliver the work to your client, whether it's you delivering it yourself. You have to set a cost to that because there's opportunity cost for that. That's real, right? If you're delivering 100% of your time to one client, then the opportunity cost is you won't have any other clients. Third is third-party costs, right? So whether you're using freelancers or there's other costs related to the project, whether you need additional software or need a graphic design company to help out with something like that, those are all your third-party costs. Then you have to estimate a bit of your general and administrative costs, right? And these are like just a percentage of your day-to-day operating costs, whether it's the cost of your email and website systems. But let's say you spend about $1,000 a month on those kinds of expenses, and you have 10 clients, then it's like $100 that you're allocating per month for something like that. Finally, you get to profit before taxes, and profit before taxes is how much do you need to make from each project that goes to the bottom line so that you could sustain your business, because it's not a consistent flow of work that you're going to get. And so the profitability is really needed to reinvest in your business or to just maintain the business in general. And so, and then of course you have to consider the taxes that you have to pay for that. So this is another way to, you might start with pricing your product or services on an hourly or on a per user basis and come up with pricing, but then you also need to take this approach and make sure that you're pricing it at the right level so that you can create a sustainable, growing business. So just to recap, I know we've gone through this a few times, but I just see it happening over and over again. And so I want to make sure that we reinforce this because I really care about making sure that you create businesses that are sustainable and that you don't give up, right? And the effort to sell a larger contract is the same as selling a smaller contract. And in many ways, it's just easier to grow your business if you price your product or service at the right level. So here are some of the things, again, that people forget about when they're coming up with their pricing. The cost of the sale, like we talked about, the travel, the meeting time, the going to conferences, there's a cost to sale to all of this. The delivery, I think a lot of people get right. They know how much and how much time goes into delivery, but what they often don't include is the prep time, the check-in meetings, the follow-up emails, all of the stuff that goes into project managing the account. And usually I see an overhead of project management around 15 to 20%. So that's just something to keep in mind, especially for services. Then third-party costs, usually people get that right because you kind of know what the hard expenses are for your third parties if you need them. And then the other part, again, is just the general and administrative costs that are associated with running your business. You have to put something in there for each project, or you have to look at a higher profitability line, because there will be a project profitability line, because then you will deduct your general operating expenses and such. But it's I predict that you'll likely need to increase your pricing higher than what you originally thought as you put this business together. And the way you're got to do this is you have to have confidence in your pricing, and that comes from having clarity in the impact or the value your product or service will bring, right? Like if you have confidence in that, then you will see that your pricing increases or adjusting your pricing will make a lot of sense. And then finally, even after you sell these products and services, even at a lower price or even eventually at a higher price, you need to document the wins, the testimonials, get feedback, because that's going to be evidence that what you're doing is creating the value and it's worth the dollars that you are presenting.